Hello. So we're here to talk about all around the Celsius token. We're seeing that Celsius token actually had like a very small kind of pump and dump that we saw. Maybe it was manipulation from FTX. Maybe it was just a classic short squeeze. We're going to go through those two possibilities and also find out a little bit more about what exactly is going on right now in the Celsius world, and should you be buying the Cell token? Should you be interested in Celsius at all? That's the key question, and that's exactly what we're going to dig into now. So having a look at this, as you see here, bringing it up on the screen, Celsius USD. We had a bit of a pump, actually quite a heavy pump. So this is on FTX, a massive pump going from where? $0.3 right the way up to $2.5. That is an unbelievable gain of, oh my God. What a trade, huh? What a trade. Obviously, us little plebeians, we wouldn't have known that this was going to happen. So it's it's not very fair to say that you should have got into it, because there's a little bit of manipulation here, even from whichever way you look at it. And there are two different possibilities that have been presented in this article. So Celsius price gained 600%, but analysts cite exchange error and a massive short squeeze. So the sell price spiked from 0.18 to $1.55 in one abrupt candle before sinking back to 60 cents within the same 1 hour candle. Well, we're seeing that it actually went a lot higher. They might have been speaking only about this specific candle, but you know, this wick, bloody hell, absolutely insane. So looking at this here, basically, we all know what's happened with Celsius. Currently, they've locked away investors' money. Now, one thing that I actually want to kind of mention is, yes, they have begun paying back their loans, and they've actually brought down the liquidation price again, which is very good. And that is by providing more wrapped Bitcoin. But in doing this, they haven't paid off their loans. They've simply added more collateral to the loans they already have. Now, why are they doing that? Maybe they're doing that because they can't afford to pay off the loans. So they might just be dragging out the inevitable and kind of just over collateralizing so they can borrow more to just really solve that short-term pain that they're in. We don't know exactly for sure their full cash position or their liquid assets. So, you know, it is very much just a guess at the moment, but keep that in mind. They haven't paid off their loans. They're simply adding more collateral to make the loans bigger. Now, Twitter analyst Hasaka has said on-chain data shows that 28 million in DAO that was reportedly deposited into a wallet controlled by Celsius and has since been sent to a separate address, which he identified as a debt repayment address. Now, this is good. It's only $28 million, which, to be honest, is kind of nothing, you know. And so we can see, I brought you through this yesterday. Make sure you watch this. But this is going through the Celsius wallets combined. Net worth $1.6 billion. Their debt has gone down. I think it was at 815 yesterday. So that is very good. The overall net worth has gone up. Potentially that's as a result of not this one, just the general crypto market. Where are we? Go to the top. Yes. Could just be a result of, obviously, they're holding a number of different assets. These assets have all gone up. I mean, Ethereum, they had a lot. It's up by 8.18%. So it could be a result of that, hence why the net worth is up. But just looking at the history, so this is the transactional data that we're seeing. They have been very busy, very, very busy indeed. So going through just, you know, I think it's either paying off, you know, bits of the debt that they owe, or just staking more, which, you know, like I said, just mentioned, staking more is not a good idea because they're just adding more collateral. That's definitely what they've done in this case, in terms of the wrapped Ethereum on the MakerDAO protocol. This is what they've done, not necessarily great. Anyway, the second reason or potential reason for this massive pump is just a typical short squeeze, to be honest. You know, so we'll look through it here. So, yes. Firstly, we have a short squeeze. Secondly, we have just a user interface problem on FTX. So people saying that they were trying to get out of a trade but just couldn't. So another day, another problem with FTX. I've been trying to close my sell position for the last 5 minutes. Each attempt gives me a success, then cancels the order. Now it's nuked and I'm trapped. Thanks. Not great. But yeah, several tweets above have confirmed the difficulties. And so this is where the user experience went down, UX. And, obviously then once it starts going up, if you can't sell and you start seeing it going up, you're like, oh my Jesus. So that's not ideal. But according to Kingfisher, when the UX went down, most traders were unable to hedge or close or reduce their positions, which obviously is not great, in a market that's on a massive run up. Now, the second reason why this might have happened is just a typical short squeeze. So a bigger player was looking to liquidate sell shorts on perps, which is perpetual. Funding was super high, over 2,500% annualized, meaning lots of people were short. And to be honest, why wouldn't you be? Of course you'd be short on sell. You'll think the whole company's going to go down. But prices didn't move much on the perpetual futures, meaning there weren't natural buys, but liquidations mostly as the mark price went up. So obviously everyone said, hey, I'm going to short this. You get liquidated if the price goes up. People think this was a bit of manipulation just to make the price go up massively so that then people could begin selling and just, kind of squeeze a little bit of money out of the Celsius token. But obviously in order to pump the price up, you have to pump the price up in order to be able to sell to make the money. So you need to liquidate people. So this is where, institutions will take a small loss, pumping the price up, and then liquidate all of the short traders. And then it's very easy for them to keep pumping it up. Once it gets to their desired price, let's say, I don't know, $2, they then start shorting massively. So they start shorting, and then they know that they can bring it down because there's nobody kind of even has any interest at this level because it's been so long. It was what, March 8th? So, 8th of May, that this was the last time that we actually saw the price at this high. So when you're in this territory, you can do pretty much whatever you want because nobody's buying contracts at this level, because no one ever expected it to do anything apart from keep going down. So everyone's saying, oh, well, if it gets to $1, then maybe I'll short. But, no one's doing anything at $2. So that's one thing to kind of keep in mind. But this is just a quick one, guys, showing you the open interest. So looking at 6 hours ago, more than, the open interest, which is essentially how many people are going long or short on futures contracts. So there was an open interest decrease by 4%. So 450,000 almost taken away. Again, the same 700,000, and then again 479,000, and then again we see it kind of change. And this might be the reason why we're seeing that little bit of like bump up here. And then again, we're seeing here taken away. So not really, get out of here. Not really too much to say apart from, it's still up and down. It's still very much up and down. Similar amounts each time, I will say. But yeah, right now, there's not really a story to say about Celsius. They still have people's money locked away. One thing that I think is actually quite important to realize is because the money is locked away and because you cannot access your funds, because, you cannot log in, that really kind of paints the picture of if you can't log in and you get a margin call and then you get liquidated on your position, well, what happens to your money? We've already seen in the risk disclosure that they keep your money. So because they keep your money, there's nothing you can do about it. And then they can use that to then pay off debt or add more collateral to the debt they already have so that they can extend those loans. So keep that into account. That could be, one of the reasons why they're closing off. So some people might log in and realize they've been liquidated from their positions. That's very good for Celsius, but very bad for the community. So hopefully that's not the case. Want to make sure that, obviously people are able to essentially just log in and get their stuff back. It's unfair for Celsius to be doing this, and it spreads massive contagion across the whole DeFi platform and the whole space. But because they are starting to pay off some of their loans and they have over collateralized with the Maker DAO protocol, that does give a bit of confidence. So I think that's part of the reason why we're seeing that lift off of that pressure on DeFi and all the way across the crypto market in general. Anyway, that's everything from me. Thank you very much, and I will see you later.